His Excellency Mr. Munir Akram, President of the United Nations Economic and Social Council and Permanent Representative of Pakistan to the United Nations. Ambassador, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Alexander. Excellencies, Mr. Undersecretary General Liu, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very grateful for the invitation to me to address this important webinar on forests. It has been 20 years since the UN Forum on Forests was established. You have pursued the goal through the United Nations Strategic Plan for Forests. And today, the objectives outlined in the plan are even more vital than they have been in the past. We are facing, as what I have said, a triple challenge. The challenge of the COVID pandemic and its economic and social impact, the challenge of climate change, and the challenge of trying to achieve the SDGs by 2030. Our forests are literally burning. And at the same time, with the COVID crisis and the decline in incomes, the dependence of millions of people, especially in the rural communities, the reliance on forests and on the parts of forests, such as wood, has increased for energy supply, energy generation. Employment has declined, and therefore this reliance has escalated. The goals that were set out in the strategic plan remain relevant. What we need to do is to see how we can focus on the main actions that should be taken under the current circumstances. First of all, it is self-evident that we must stop the process of deforestation. We must not only fight the fires that are burning our forests, but also provide alternatives for rural populations' dependence on wood-burning energy through renewable energy projects, through the creation of job opportunities in the rural areas in order to stop the reliance on forests as a source of energy. Obviously, major reforestation plans are required, and some countries have started this. In our region, it is reported that both India and Pakistan have embarked on reforestation plans through their national agencies. In Pakistan, we have an objective of planting 10 billion trees over the next 3 years, and we are doing so mostly through a national program, which also creates employment and job opportunities for unskilled labor, therefore counteracting the challenge posed by the COVID crisis. We should utilize the mechanisms available in ECOSOC, and it would be my hope to do so. Firstly, I think we need to incorporate the reforestation plan of action into the poverty alleviation programs of national governments. This can be done. We can utilize the resident coordinator and the resident representative systems which are available in developing countries. and bring these plans before the Economic and Social Council during the Development Cooperation Forum meetings, which will be held later during our presidency of the Council. Another important area is science and technology. I have identified this as a priority area for the Pakistan presidency, and it could be extremely relevant with regard to forests. There are technologies that we need to target to promote, such as remote sensing, the more efficient use of water, the GIS technology for data collection, the use of drone technology for observation and application of solutions to forest and agricultural problems. We need to pick from the plan of action the objectives that we need to promote in the context of science and technology and promote these in a targeted way in our deliberations and at the national level. Finally, finance is obviously the key to implementation of all the plans and programs that we have, including the strategic plan for 2030. Resources obviously need to be mobilized both at the domestic and the external level. At the domestic level, governments can be encouraged to provide larger outlays in cash for programs such as I mentioned on reforestation and other nature-based solutions. Local communities need to be mobilized in this process. It is a cheap and efficient option for local communities to engage in reforestation and forest preservation activities. Externally, obviously, we need a whole spectrum of solutions. We need solutions to the debt crisis, which hampers countries from outlaying money on such nature-based solutions and reforestation. There is an active plan for debt for nature solutions, debt swaps for nature-based solutions. We need to activate this in an organized way in the relevant developing countries. Green bonds have been mentioned, and I think that this is a major innovative approach that we can adopt to provide financing for forest action. And lastly, but not least, I think we must hold our advanced country partners to their commitment to mobilize the $100 billion in climate finance, which they have committed to, and that can be an important source together with the GEF in order to provide financing for reforestation activities. I hope to utilize the forum of the Economic and Social Council to promote these activities and these objectives in the coming months. I thank you very much for this opportunity to participate in this webinar. Thank you.
I thank Ambassador Munir Akram, President of the Economic and Social Council, for his thought-provoking remarks.